Hi vinyl community, VC. I've got a video to do here which is probably only about 2 months late. It's for James Griffiths. It was not a competition, but it was like a response, I think, that he did to your vinyl firsts, and it was 20 questions. So without further ado, hi James and anyone else watching this video, thanks for watching. If you want to subscribe, you can. I would really like to get up to 200, to be honest. I think I've been stuck on about 175 for probably about 3 years now, so yeah. Anyway, what can you do, eh? Quality over quantity. Okay, so his competition was to name firsts in your record collection or whatever, and these are the questions and here are my answers. Okay, so first record by favourite band artist. So you've seen my videos before. My favourite band is The Church, and the first album I bought by them is Gold Afternoon Fix, which was out in 91, I think. Oh, 90. I think I saw them live twice in 1990, and would have bought this album. Interesting thing about the cover is you can see their heads on the sleeve, but then they are all pictured in the actual background things as well. And this is coming out. This album is actually being re-released, or was due to be re-released Record Store Day 2020. So whether or not that still happens, I don't know. But you should be able to pick up a copy for cheaper than the Record Day version. Record Store Day version. Right. Question 2. First debut album I've ever owned. I think it was probably this. So this is a-ha's first album with the hits. Hype sticker there. This is not my original copy. This would be the second copy I've got. The first one was well played and much loved, and it's been changed, upgraded. Right, so I'm just getting used to the angles here because it looks like I'm looking the wrong way at the camera, but I can't work it out anyway. First live album. Right. One Christmas, I think I got probably 5 or 6 albums, and they are the answers to this question and the next question. The first live album I got, well, this came out in 1986. So this is Queen Live Magic with its like gatefold on it. I have not listened to this for so long I can't even remember if it's a good recording or anything about it. And this again is not my original copy. Somewhere in the midst of time the original went. I found this somewhere second hand, probably £1 or 2 or something, so I picked it up. And that same Christmas, I think, answers the next question, which is the first greatest hits I ever owned, and this is the original copy of my Bananarama greatest hits. Well, you probably know what's on here. Venus was an 86 hit, so Venus was probably the first one that I knew them from. And then they changed, didn't they? They changed from Somebody Left. The girl when Shakespeare's sister left, and then you had this other one called Jackie. But this is the original 3 on the cover. Now, question number 4. No, sorry, question number 5. I think. Yeah. First double album. I don't have this album anymore, so it would have been Rattle and Hum. I think that was the first double album I ever got, and I really like that album. I haven't got it, so all I can really show is this U2 best of 80 to 90. This is a copy that I bought whenever it came out, I guess. It came out in 98, so I had it since about then, I guess. Right, upside down. Number 6, first legendary classic album you ever owned. Well, this will surprise a lot of you, probably. Not because of me, but because classic albums, what is a classic album? I don't think I ever had classic albums until early 90s. So from 1998, a classic indie album on the Lazy album. It's Primitives. It's called Lovely, isn't it, I think? Yeah, it's called Lovely. And it is lovely. And yeah, Primitives from Coventry, reformed. I've never seen the Primitives live. I nearly went, and just before I was going to go and see them, they split up. So, right, where are we? This is taking longer than I thought it would, to be honest. Number 7, the first ever as a gift. My auntie, one Christmas, possibly 85, when this compilation was made. This is the version with, well, if I say side 1, track 7, you'll know what I mean, because it's no longer on there anymore. This isn't an original copy of mine. It does have that might be a W.H. Smith sticker, I'm not sure. £5.75. Now Christmas album. Right. Number 8. The first Disappointment album. Big Disappointment album. Okay, this maybe wasn't a proper album of hers, but it came after, let me see, it came after Like a Virgin, it came after True Blue, and this is 4 Madonna tracks on here, and it's Who's That Girl? Huge disappointment, and there's her out of control eyebrows before she decided to rectify that problem. Yeah, it's got Who's That Girl? Causing a Commotion, A Look of Love, and Can't Stop, and then just other tracks by various people who some have sunk without a trace, like Michael Davidson, Coty Mundy, well, Criticality, yeah, and Duncan Foray, spelt the same way as the classical composer, Club Nouveau. And this is not my original copy. I found it somewhere. The original I would have got rid of because, you know, not a great album to be fair, but not a great film either. A lot of Madonna's films have been pretty poor. Number 9, first record owned by an artist you went on to collect seriously. Well, it would have to be Madonna. So here it is, Madonna Like a Virgin, and with the oh so interesting just got out of bed shenanigans picture on the back there. Post cigarette, I would have thought. Now we're on number 10, I think. Yeah, first introduced you to a specific genre. Oh. Well, surprisingly, or rather differently, I've gone for a comedy album, comedy genre. I have quite a lot of comedy albums, and late 80s I used to like a lot of comedy on TV, and you know, with the old VHS video, recording them and keeping them for a long time and then throwing them away when you couldn't work out what to do with them. So here is the original, not live, but a comedy sketch album of Ella Smith and Jones, with lots of funny News for the Elderly, Real Ale, What is Unique, Cray Tell, Sperm Bank, Drugs, Police versus Press. That's Smith and Jones' first album, first of 3 albums I think they did. I've got them all. Have not listened to them in ages though, but anyway. First record you home taped. So I found this with my handwriting on it. This is comedy albums actually. One of the albums I have, they are both live Rowan Atkinson albums. You can see that. So Live in Belfast I have on vinyl. Not just a Pretty Face, has some very funny stuff on it. Yeah, here it is. So, this was a mate whose dad worked for the BBC, and he had a copy which I borrowed to put it onto cassette. He'd got a promotional copy of it, I think, and I was allowed to borrow it and copy it. Tom, Dick and Harry. Tom saw the combine harvester, Dick heard the combine harvester, and Harry didn't have the foggiest what was going on. And there's 37-0. Fatal Beatings, that's about being at a public school. A couple of songs there. And Perkins. Perkins is Geoffrey Perkins. I think he was a writer on there. And Live at Belfast 1980. That's 7 years before the first album he did. And Rowan Atkinson's gone on to greater things, really, you have to say. I mean, yeah. A cassette. Right. First record bought on someone else's recommendation. Where I grew up, it was very near High Wycombe, and this guy famously was from High Wycombe, and that's Howard Jones' Dream into Action. This is not my original copy. It's another upgrade. It was £6. Well, not £6 to me, but £6 to whoever bought it with this sticker, RM sticker, and some other random sticker on top of it. And I have to say, maybe in some ways this is quite a dated album, but it's actually not that bad. It's yeah, it had about 4 hit singles off it, I think, and yeah, the 80s have made a comeback, so it's acceptable. Right, okay. First record, parents disapproved of. Wasn't really sure what to put for this. I don't think much has been disapproved of in a way, but due to the current state I was when I listened to this, I think it became a bit of a faux pas, and that is Cypress Hill, Black Sunday, my original, and I won't get it out now. But on the inside, there's a cutout from the Independent warning about the things associated with cannabis. Right. First record caused you to lose your mind. That's quite appropriate after the last question. And, well, if you're stoned, I don't know if I lost my mind particularly, but I just went for this. Just a plain early 90s repress of this. Yeah. I think at the time I was like reading Fortean Times and things like that. Sort of like, yeah. Right. First record you saw in someone else's collection. VC or mates, so it would be a mates. So it would have been would it have been early 90s, 87, 88. So a few mates at the time were into Deacon Blue. Now I got this one first with the hits on it, but then looked back and got this, which I suppose many people, Deacon Blue fans, would say is the cool. Well, maybe not just the cooler one, but the one that everybody sings along to, a ship called Dignity. And yeah, Deacon Blue, a bit of a strange band. They didn't really last. I suppose they got eaten up by all the indie and dance and grunge. Sort of fell by the wayside, like a lot of bands, really. Sort of late 80s, decade changed, and people really sort of changed then, I think. Yeah, a lot of good songwriting sort of went out the window, or just was out of favour, and then got swept out. A lot of bands, there were like Deacon Blue, The Bible, never a fan of, but things like Big Country, I suppose they they sort of went down in popularity, and that was it for them, more or less. The Alarm, maybe, I don't know. Right. Elsie's collection. First First record, difficult to track down. Okay, so I was... this record, I don't think it ever came out on vinyl in the UK. This is 1991, the difficult third album for Transmission Vamp. And this is called Little Magnets versus the Bubble of the Babble. It's not that bad, but another band, I suppose, late 80s, say, fell by the wayside, and they'd had that 15 minutes or 45 minutes first half without stoppages of fame. And I think people probably had enough of Wendy James, probably. Yeah, I Just Want to Be With You was a single. If Looks Could Kill was a single. Yeah, they just... And I think also they delayed the release of it or something, because they didn't really have a hit single off it. And that was the end of them, pretty much. And, yeah. Currently residing in the Where Are They Now file. First record I bought a second copy of. Well, it's Back to the Church again, and this is their debut album. One is EMI Records Australia, 81. This one, and this is the UK version, I guess you would say. With this lovely cover, medieval sort of statue falling out cover. The only reason I really have both of them is because this one has fighter pilot Korean War on it, and this one doesn't. There may be another different track. Bella, is this where you live? Looks pretty much the same, apart from one track. So, right, nearly there. First record you bought, yeah, done that. First Blind Buy. Sort of music I never really got hugely into, but I've kept this, is dub. And this is a King Tubby album that came out in 89 on Trojan, so this is 73 to 76. I've just never really been, you know, hugely into this sort of stuff, but I've kept it. And yeah, there you go. I've not got much to say about it, really. I haven't played it for ages, so... Oh, 2 more to go. Okay. First Blind Buy, done that yet. First record bought involving VC members. So when I lived in Finland, after I lived in Finland, I met, we went back there on holiday one summer, and I met a guy called Mikko Toivola, and he